Hello and welcome to another edition of the Slip Cordon. I'm very pleased to be joined by Michael Cotter of Terenure. Michael, you're very welcome to the show.
How you getting on, pretty well?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I know it's summertime and I know we've got a lot of dodgy hairdos coming out of lockdown, but I can't go any further without mentioning your own.
Listen, I like the look of what Sparky had on the TV last night, you know.
Yeah, it's impressive. I think he must have been taking a few tips. So, but it was great to get the win in last night. Great to see the Irish boys doing well, and a lot of young fellas involved in that squad. And I suppose with you being on, you're a Terenure man. No better place to start than young Seamus Lynch. He seems to be doing it with the bat this season again.
Yeah, he's been really good this year. Obviously, he got a 30 in the first game, and then the last couple of games he actually kicked on and made 50 and an 80, and then on the weekend it was really important. Like, he got us a lot of momentum, kind of really put our foot on the throat of Balbriggan, and gave us a great platform to score. 169, which this season is a very, very good score. Like, there's not been a lot of scores up that sort of total, so it was great for him to obviously score those runs and doing them a fair clip as well. So it was really, really good for us and great for him as well. To be honest, he's progressed unbelievably well this season. So it's just a joy to have him in the team.
And we were putting the challenge down this day last week about the senior league to get those high scores. It really was an impressive total, but you played your own part in it there. You just fell a little short of the half century yourself.
Yeah, it was nice to get a few. It makes your job as a middle order batsman a lot easier when you're coming in and James is going along like that. All I really have to do is sort of get him on strike, and then as I was saying to a few people, it's just collateral damage that you pick up a few runs at the other end.
Yeah, he does have that ability about him. I'm going to be going out there. My game this week is your own against Railway. Railway, bit of a surprise package so far this season. They were defeated by Malahide obviously last weekend, but they've picked up some good wins already this season. Yeah,
they have. I mean, Oliver Perry, that's opened the bowling for them, looks like a good find. His figure's been very impressive the last couple of weeks. And then they've got Danny Barkley playing as well, who's a very big hitter of the ball. I suppose 2020 cricket suits him. And then Kenny Carroll, who's a proven operator for the last I can't remember how many years he's been scoring hundreds against me. So, and the likes of even Alex Styles is there, and hasn't scored as many runs as he might have thought yet this season, but there's always a chance to come up to Terenure and score a few on the weekend. So they're a team to be actually wary of. Obviously, we had a great win against them last season, but we certainly won't be resting on our laurels, and we'll be helping put on a good show for you.
And well, fingers crossed. And those couple of games, Balbriggan, Railway, were they ones that you would have targeted at the start of the season, or anything that was in mind before you got underway?
I suppose you couldn't say that you're trying to target certain games, because then it kind of it lessens the importance at the start of your season. We got into a really good position against the Hills on week one, and unfortunately couldn't capitalise. It was just a couple of unfortunate dismissals, and we fell away and lost momentum. Malahide are obviously an extremely strong team, and it was sort of similar to how our game went on the weekend. They got their foot on the throat early and didn't let up. They're a brilliant 2020 team. So it was nice to be able to get a bit of a kickstart against Balbriggan, and then Railway are a team that we were obviously quite familiar with over the last few years. So we've played a lot of cricket against them. They've played a lot of cricket against us. We're confident when we play against them. We beat them last year, and we tied with them in the 2020 game last year as well, which we really should have won. It's one of those things you kind of just want to not be too familiar with them, but use the experience we have against them, built up over the last couple of years, and try and get a bit of a roll on. Playing against the likes of Balbriggan would have beaten us quite a few times in the last couple of years, so it was really nice to go out there and get one up on them. Railway, hopefully we can play to form, but obviously, as we've seen, we beat Balbriggan, I've not beaten them in a couple of years. Railway could turn around and beat us very easily, so we know resting on our laurels. We'll have to go out and perform to the best of our abilities. I suppose that's the thing for us. We need to make sure we're on song every week, otherwise teams will turn you over.
Very good. And looking to the other side and the other group in the tournament, you know, there was a top of the table clash with Marion going to the Phoenix Park and John Anderson doing what John Anderson does. He's up to 215 runs for the season already. Another 74 scored at the weekend. It's hard to look past him. What's it like when you're facing somebody like Marion and the names that they can trot out throughout the team, throughout the lineup?
Yeah, I suppose we've been on the end of a couple of big scores from John. Probably a couple of years ago, he got a big 100 against us in the Senior Cup, and it was like it's nice to watch. I was the best seat in the house for watching it, but it's at the same time it makes your day a lot longer as well. Like he's a class act, and he like one thing I would say, anytime I've played against him, he treats every game the exact same, and like he's just there to score runs, and he's absolutely brilliant at it. So. You know, it's no surprise that he's top on the run scoring charts. I'm sure Seamus will be doing his best to try and chase him down at the top, but I think that might be a bit of a thankless task if John keeps on scoring. You know, match winning knocks every week for Marion, and like, they're going to be a very hard team to beat. And then obviously their bowling unit with you know, the spinners they have like Sidhu and Tom Stanton are like two brilliant bowlers, so they're a very tough team to play against, obviously. You know, it'd be nice to get to a semi-final and get to play against them, but you know, it's nice to watch them as well.
Nice watch as well. Well, in fairness, we've been given the batsmen a bit of praise and a bit of mention here over the last few weeks, but I suppose the bowlers that need to get their mention as well. I mentioned in passing last week there was five first taken the previous weekend. There was 3 more taken this weekend, so I'm just going to have to give a quick shout out to a couple of people. Sonny Russia with YMCA thirds took 5 for 10 against Bagnallstown. Manpreet Singh for Greystones against Adamstown took 5 for 11 over the weekend, and Ryan Stirrett for Russia's third team against Railway took 5 for 26. So there might be a few runs being scored around, but the bowlers are having their say a little bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not as one-sided a game as they think.
Even in 2020, there's still a chance for the bowlers to come in and to influence the game, not just the batsmen swinging for the fences. Sure, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, like they don't get much of a chance to kind of impact the game only bowling 4 overs. But I mean, we had Zubair Khan who took I think 3 for 24 off his 4 overs on Saturday, and that was really important for us. He got a couple of very important wickets for us at important times, and could have had probably another one, but with a bit of luck. So like, you know, it just shows how important bowlers are, and when you use your bowlers in 2020 games, you know, the role that the spinners play in that in your team, you know, it's hugely important to being able to defend totals, and yeah.
Well, that's it. You're trying to put the runs on the board and then defend them. That seems to be the way to go. Only one team in the Senior League Cup chased down victory last weekend. That was YMCA at home to North County. So putting the runs on the board and then defending them seems to be the way to go. Looking forward to another round of fixtures this Saturday. Michael Cotter from Terranure, thanks a million for joining us here on the Slip Cordon.
No worries. Cheers, Peter.